Hello everybody. Welcome to Tenacious G in her least tenacious state. I don't know if you can tell by my eyes, I'm a mess. Just now realizing it could very well be allergies, like the head pressure. So I had a lot of ambitious things intended for this upload, but I think it's just going to be easier if I just knock out the things. You know what I mean? So on the agenda today will be, of course, a prep update. Am I lean yet? Do I have abs yet?
You there yet? No.
Anything? Tune in. You see this? And you see this. The story behind both of those. And it all comes full circle, everybody. So this is a friend of mine who's an actual bodybuilder. His name is Addison, or maybe it's the other, but I call him Addison. And brilliant person, nutritionist. But anyway, so I kind of hijacked his picture and made it my own. And then this, of course, is from the Mr. America registration. And that is clearly a male bodybuilder, right? So I'm competing in amateur figure at the Mr. America. And I was competing in pro women's physique, and it would have been my pro women's physique debut. Well, I recently learned by reading the freaking judging criteria that they actually require women's physique to wear heels during mandatories. Their official policy, well, let me backtrack about this. So in the untested organizations, there's a lot more variability in the physiques, of the female physiques, because women can have a lot more size, and then of course the conditioning can vary drastically. There are pretty clear distinctions between the size and conditioning of a bikini competitor, a wellness competitor, a figure competitor, a women's physique competitor, and a female bodybuilder. I mean, they are different and distinct classes, and there's no confusing them, okay? Well, in the natural organizations, there's certainly conditioning is going to be different from division to division. But as far as size and honestly sometimes even shape, it's a female form. It's you got some people that have more of a pronounced hourglass, but as far as like skeletal muscle changing someone's shape, less likely so. Posing for sure will change someone's shape, but it's not going to be like in the enhanced world. So back to my story. The official position of the Mr. America is that the reason why they have women's physique wear heels and women's bodybuilding not wear heels is because without the heels, the only distinction between the two, I guess, categories is posing. Open palm, closed palm. And that's kind of weird, right? So why have two divisions if they basically look the same and the posing's a little different, right? So that's the position. Well, y'all, there's a reason why I'm not a pro figure person. And it's because I don't have the poise for this. I'm a bro, okay? I'm a femme bro. So I want to look jacked and stacked. I want to be meaty, tough and stuff, I want to lift weights and look like I lift a bunch of weights. Case in point, these pictures. So in any case, I kind of had a fit about it and asked if there was anything we could do, and they agreed to change my registration to women's bodybuilding, which in some ways is ridiculous because I'm not a female bodybuilder. However, apparently now I am. So just a friendly reminder, fam, that life is crazy and that you can be anything you want to be in life, okay? So there's that. Now, on to my fit, right? Because I'm not an angry person. I don't typically get angry about anything or get riled up in that way, unless it has to do with health and risk and public safety. Hot damn, I'm a social. So the issue I have with women's physique wearing heels is not so much the misogyny of it, of like, you know, have muscle but look cute kind of thing, you know, like, you know, the conditions in which we get to perform. Like, come on now. It's not even that, because it is what it is, you know. But the reason why I was more upset is because that shit is dangerous. Imagine trying to hit front abdominal, you know, externally rotate your freaking legs while balancing on freaking heels. You know, it's like, it's one thing when you have just quarter turns, you know, there's some control there. But with these other poses, it's really dangerous, and you can like roll an ankle on stage while looking cute or something. So I'm not here for that. And knowing me, I would roll my shit. I'm not here for that either. So that's really why I'm upset about it. Because if you were to take like, you know, men's classic physique, essentially, because men's classic is women's physique, you know, the flip side of that. And you were to ask these men to do all of their poses in heels, while that would be very entertaining for the audience, it would not be very safe for the athletes, because there's certain amounts of grounding and all this other stuff that you have to do to really be able to display your physique properly. And to be forced to do that on freaking, not even platforms. It's not like they're stable, chunky platforms. They're heels. They're pointed. They're unstable. So I'm not here for that. So that is one of the new updates, is that I'll be competing as a bodybuilder instead of women's physique. So that's one prep update. As far as the rest of the prep update, this will be the beginning of the second week of my programming. So I'm in the middle of week 2 of my full body split, feeling a lot more ready when I go into the gym. You know, I can anticipate as I seem to get out in an hour and 45 minutes, if you don't count my warm up or whatever. Getting the cardio in, that's not been an issue. Oh, let's get into that. So 4-day full body split. I was doing 175 minutes of cardio at steady state, and then one 15-minute HIIT session. This was, mind you, a 60% increase in cardio from the previous majority of prep. So, you know, seeing some traction there. Now, as of yesterday, coach bumped the steady state up to 200 minutes a week. I'll have more to say on that. And then the HIIT is optional if I have the energy, you know. Now, I live for this, y'all. So yeah, I have the energy so far. Calories are 1,800. They're actually 1,830, but whatever. I mean, you know, I often undereat by a teeny tiny bit, or I carve out a little bit of calories so I can have those sugar-free drinks or whatever. So I just say that I'm eating 1,800 calories, which is a pretty significant drop from my improvement season of 2,600 calories. But frankly, because I'm eating whole foods, I'm not feeling it too bad. As with most people, if hunger comes, it's at night, because during the day, you just kind of eat what you eat and keep moving. The cardio. So a lot of people are used to being told, you know, 30 minutes of cardio 4 days a week or whatever. I don't really like that. So I asked my coach, tell me what my weekly target is and I'll get it in. Now, there's a caveat to that, because it's all about, you know, caloric expenditure, the average during the week. I'm not trying to just knock out everything in 2 days at all. That would not be helpful. But what I like to do is on rest days, I'll just do longer cardio sessions, like 45 minutes. And then on the other days, I'll do shorter ones, like 30 minutes, you know, and it allows me that flexibility. So I'm still getting hits of cardio throughout the week, but they're within like, you know, 15-20% of each other as far as duration, but I have the freedom to fit it into my life how I see fit. And that works for me, versus this whole like every day thinking, shit, I need to do an hour of cardio. So that's my strategy. That's how I prefer to do it. I just don't, you know, there is always room for flexibility in life, if within reason. And so that's another camp that I belong to, I guess you could say. Case in point, flexible dieting. Like, I'm following a meal plan, but I have some flexibility in there too, within very controlled reason. So that, so that's where we're at with that. So right now, This is the first day that I'll be doing cardio towards my 200 minutes of steady state. Today will be that day. I intend to do 45 minutes of cardio today after I get this long walk out the way. So that's a good place to start. Okay, more prep updates. The questions I'm trying to remind myself to ask myself, like to check in, is how's my sleep? How's my hunger? You know, those questions. And so far, still on team no suffering. I will say that I've been hungry twice, but you know, I followed those strategies that I've outlined in a previous upload. Like I switched out, instead of spinach for one of my meals, I ended up using romaine and having like a nice chopped salad. So it was more volume. And then another time, it was like my last whole meal, like I guess they call them square meals, because I have a couple snacks during the day, but it was my last square meal of the day. And so I just ate half of it, drank some water, went for a walk to, you know, to stretch that meal out essentially. And then had it when I was feeling hungry again. So all of this involves a certain amount of body awareness and yada, 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 discipline and all of that, but really body awareness, which is partly why I think a lot of people enjoy bodybuilding, is because aside from the mind-muscle connection, which is a mind-body awareness or form of it, there's also this other mind-body connection that you have with your body, nutrition, sleep, and really having to check in on those variables and then like adjust things accordingly. So it's really cool to get to know yourself on an intimate level in the pursuit of a goal. And yeah, listening for real hunger signals versus thirst, you know, recognizing when you might be starting to feel tired and asking yourself, is it because I'm exhausted or is it because I have to eat? And being able to tell the difference. Also, when you're on prep, it's really cool when you think you're exhausted from life and then you eat something and like you feel it surging through your bloodstream and you're like, oh, power up. It's very, very cool to feel the relationship between food and like cellular fuel. At least I think so. So 1,800 calories and not really feeling hungry yet. I anticipate that if we drop again, I feel like, fuck, I'm putting this out there, coach is gonna be like, noted. I feel like I could go down to 1,500 and manage if I'm working from home. If I'm working in the hospital, I will lose my mind. There's just, working in a hospital, I commend anybody who's on the clinical side who has any ability to take care of themselves and their basic needs, because yeah, no man, days are unpredictably long. You don't really get breaks, and you certainly can't be carrying food with you up and down the halls, you know. And then if you're in a big hospital, it's like you're hungry and you got to run back to your office in another building, and it's a whole thing. And it's not, honestly, you don't have the time to do that. So, you know, then there's handoffs and shit. But anyway, I digress.